Hi everyone, it's John from What Up. Welcome back to another video. Now in this video we have a little bit more casting news and another small tidbit of Wheel of Time news. Nothing too serious or too big, but we're still going to discuss it because we all love Wheel of Time, right? So, the first thing we'll talk about is the casting of the White Cloaks. So Iman Valda and Jaja from Bornhold have both been cast. Now both actors have been known to the Wheel of Time fandom for quite some time, although we didn't officially know what either role they were playing. Or what role either of them were playing, rather, until just recently when Wheel of Time and Prime announced it on Twitter. And the last thing we're going to talk about after we talk about both of them is the fact that we have another editor that has been revealed for the Wheel of Time series. So, little by little, we're getting the cast as well as the crew behind the scenes in little tidbits here and there. Alright, so before we get started, spoiler warning. In this video, I'm going to be talking about all sorts of things when it has to do with these two characters. So if you haven't read the entire series, and we're talking all the way up to A Memory of Light, be forewarned, I may spoil some major plot arcs, I may spoil some major scenes in the books, and I may also spoil basically pretty much everything. So unfortunately, this video is full on spoilers. Alright, let's get on to the video. Alright, so the first cast we have in question is one of our White Cloaks, and that is Iman Valda. Now, Iman Valda is being played by Abdul Salas. Now, Abdul Salas is a British actor. He was born in 1979, and he started acting around 2002. Now, he got his big breakout role in 2003 on Casualty, which I believe is the longest-running medical drama on the BBC, and he played the paramedic Cooper. Now, he, if you don't know him from there, was also in a bunch of other stuff, like all kinds of things. Small roles, but he was in a lot of different things. So the movie Sahara, which I believe came out in 2005 with Matthew McConaughey, he did a short stint on Doctor Who. He's done a lot of different things. But the important thing to note about this actor is that he can act. He is a very, very good actor, which is what his character Iman Valda is going to need, because Iman Valda is a bad dude. Now, he's not a dark friend. He doesn't work for the Dark One, so he isn't technically the antagonist or part of the antagonist of the series, but he's just sort of just a really evil guy that does all kinds of really nasty things. So, who is Iman Valda? Well, we're going to go through that, and that's part of the reason for the spoilers. He is part of the Council of the Anointed. Now, they work right below the Lord Captain Commander of the White Cloaks, so he worked for Pedro Nile, like right below him. He was a blade master, judged so by 5 of his peers, so he's a very talented swordsman. He's very, very intelligent. He is a great tactician, and he is evil as the day is long. Just absolutely horrible. So, why is he evil? Well, he did all kinds of really nasty stuff in the books, and it all culminated with Morghase's storyline. So basically, he is tied very closely with Andorian royal family by doing just horrible things to a lot of them. Basically, we first hear about him in The Great Hunt, very briefly, and then we don't see him until Lord of Chaos. So he was given a bunch of White Cloaks, and he was told to basically follow the royal family, Gawain, Galad, and Elaine, to the tower. And, foment discord and do some other horrible things in the countryside along the way, as White Cloaks normally do. Now, he also met Galad and gave him a copy of The Way of the Light. Now, that's basically the book that tells a White Cloak how to be a White Cloak. It's what their whole order was founded on. So he is directly responsible, essentially, for Galad becoming a White Cloak in the series. Now, after all that happens, he is a big part of Morghase's storyline. So after Morghase was ousted by Ravin out of Camelin, she kind of left. She went to Amador for, sanctuary. And she was trying to work on the king to get what she wanted, basically some army, something to get her country back. Pedro Nile showed up and gave her, a deal. I'll give you White Cloaks, you let me have free reign in Andor. Didn't go over really well, but then Pedro Nile got assassinated, and the assassin was, surprise, surprise, set up by Iman Valda. Iman Valda then acted very indignant, burst into the assassin's room, killed him because this dude just killed the Lord Captain Commander, and he's got to protect his boss. And then he takes over himself as Lord Captain Commander, so he boosts himself right to the higher ranks. And then at that point, we're going to get what I believe might be sort of like a Red Wedding type area for the Wheel of Time. And I don't mean it in the same sense it'll be similar. I think it'll be just as shocking, though. This is where he actually goes to Morghase and rapes her and basically, belittles her at the same time and says, this is what I'm going to do. I'm Lord Captain Commander. I'm in charge now. So it's going to be one of those shocking scenes that if they keep it in the show, it will really define the character, and it'll make a lot of people really hate this guy if they don't already. So Abdul Salas, like I said, great actor, probably going to channel all of this really well, and so I'm very excited to see him bring this evil to the screen. Now, why did I give you that big spiel and ruin a lot of the book series? Now, why would I do that? Well, here's the thing. He's mentioned very briefly in The Great Hunt. We don't see him in person until Lord of Chaos. His story arc ends in Knife of Dreams when Galad basically kills him and takes over as Lord Captain Commander. And then he's mentioned again a couple of times throughout the book series later on, but we don't see him again. Why is that important? Well, this casting was essentially released to us a while ago via articles and different leaks and things like that, but not officially by Amazon Prime. So this is one of those things where we're seeing an actor and a role that shouldn't be in season 1 showing up as being cast long before we thought they should be cast. This isn't something that I've seen a lot of people talk about so far with this particular role. So what does that mean? Well, I think it means a couple of different things. The first thing is we obviously know that Rafe Judkins, the showrunner, and the people that are running the Wheel of Time show are going to go a little bit afield from the books. They have to. It's an adaptation. They're going to change some things. There are a lot of things mentioned in the books in passing that we don't see actually play out that are very important, including him chasing the royal family to Andor and all the things, or through Andor to the White Tower and all the things that he does there. So here's my thoughts, and bear with me here. I think we're going to see him in season 1 for sure. I think we're going to see him following the royal family to the White Tower. I think we're going to see a few scenes with him there, setting him up and setting the White Cloaks up. He'll be able to interact with Lord Captain Commander and the other cast White Cloaks, and we'll see the Fortress of Light. I'm pretty sure we're going to see that in season 1. I think we're going to see Amador. We're going to see things that we didn't see in the books. Now, why is this important? Because, well, a television show is a very visual thing. And if you see things, especially a couple of different times, I think what they're going to do is they're going to do to the White Cloaks what they're going to do to Logain. So Logain's storyline, the False Dragon, being fleshed out. We know that for sure. Rafe has said it a number of times. He's a great character. He wasn't really done justice in the books. Now, we all love Robert Jordan. He's a terrific author, but he did leave a few things to the wayside, and Logan's story was one of them. So I think what's going to happen here is they're going to flesh out the White Cloaks as well. And it may be one of those recurring storylines where we see Pedro Nile, where we see the Lord Captain Commander, where we see the Council of the Anointed, where we see all of these things happening in the background that we only kind of hear about because when the White Cloaks finally do show up in the books, we see them in little short scenes here and there, but we don't really get to see them in all their glory on the battlefield until much later in the book series. Book 2, I believe, the end of book 2. So I think we're going to see him long before we're really supposed to. I don't think they're going to jump to a Lord of Chaos plotline in the first season, but I think they're going to flesh some things out here. All right, so let's get on to our next casting, also a White Cloak. All right, next we have Stuart Graham. Now, Stuart Graham is an Irish actor and producer, born in '67, started acting in '93. So let's let that sink in for a second. He's been acting for 27 years. 27 years. That's a whole lot of experience. So it goes along with everything else I've been saying. A lot of experience. Amazon Prime is hiring people who can act and who know their craft. I mean, you can't say they aren't, because they really are. So, what is he known for? Well, he's been in all kinds of things, but you may know him from Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, which was a really popular movie quite a few years ago, but more recently, The Foreigner with Jackie Chan. He played one of the inspectors in that movie, and he did an excellent job. So he's a really good actor. Wide range as well. So who's he playing? Well, he is going to play Joffrey Bornhold. Now, Joffrey Bornhold in the book series is also one of the Council of the Anointed, and he basically works just below Pedro Nile, the Lord Captain Commander of the White Cloaks. He is the White Cloaks' best tactician, probably ever. He's an excellent tactician, and he is described as being grandfatherly in appearance. Well, he's an older man, and we know that. So, what's special about Joffrey Bornhold? Well, a couple of different things. The first thing is that he's not, for lack of a better term, what you would consider a normal White Cloak. So, he prides himself on being fair. He prides himself on taking care of his troops. He prides himself on being a good tactician. And he does not automatically believe that everyone is a dark friend as soon as he meets them, which most White Cloaks do. So he believes in evidence and trials and all kinds of other things. Now this is shown when he questions Perrin. So he is the leader of the White Cloaks that capture Perrin and Egwene and kill Hopper. So as much as you guys like Hopper, you're going to see him a little bit in the first season and then he's dead. That's it. No, he comes back later on. Like I said, I'm spoiling the whole book series here, so I don't care what I say. But he does come back in the Wolf Dream later on, just so you're not too scared. However, when he's questioning Perrin, he basically says that he doesn't really believe he's a dark friend. He believes that the simplest answer is probably the truth, that they were just traveling in the wrong place at the wrong time. They are definitely not telling him the truth, but he doesn't believe that they work for the Dark One, which is super rare for a White Cloak. White Cloaks will normally look at you and go, wow, I don't like the way you look. I don't like your accent. I don't like what you said to me. I don't like the fact that you don't think exactly as I do. I don't like... It doesn't matter what it is. Your shoes could be untied. And you're a dark friend, and they're going to come after you because that is how White Cloaks operate. They operate fear, bullying, all kinds of different tactics. Anyone who's a little bit different from their point of view, like their way of thinking, they go after them. He is not like this. So, his story arc, while short, so we see him in the Eye of the World, and then he ends, he's killed off at the end of the Great Hunt, is a very important one. Why? Because his son, Dane Bornhold, basically goes after Perrin for a long time in the books. So what happens with this guy is he, after, capturing Perrin and Egwene, and after they were subsequently, rescued, is called back to Amador. In Amador, he's told he has to go to Fallen on Toman Head and bring a legion of White Cloaks there. He does, and while he's there, he fights the Seanchan. Now, the Seanchan are a force that came across the Aerith Ocean, and basically he considers them dark friends, or the White Cloaks kind of do, because they're using the one power in battle, and they believe that all Aes Sedai, or people that use one power, are dark friends. So he's fighting them, and he is the main reason the end of Book 2 was so amazing, because him and his White Cloaks basically held off the Seanchan army while Rand fought in the sky. And as Rand did better in the battle, the White Cloaks did better in the battle as well, because they were his manifestation of the fight. That's going to be an amazing scene to see. And I've said it before, I'm back to 2 books, 1 season. I really am, because I want to see Season 1 culminate and finish in that massive battle against the Seanchan. I can't say it, I'm sorry. I think it'll be really cool to see. So, after that happens and he dies, he has basically told Jarrett Breyer, another White Cloak, to stay out of the fight and report back to Amador about his failings or what happens. And when he does that, he tells his son Dane what happened, and Dane lays blame completely on Perrin. So basically, Dane Bornhold is Perrin's archenemy, although Perrin doesn't really consider him an archenemy. Dane 100% considers Perrin a dark friend and the cause of his father's death. And so it sets up that whole storyline. So pretty important. So, again, this is one of those castings that we know we're going to see in Season 1 for sure. It's not like Iman Valda, where it kind of doesn't make any sense that he's there. But it's very important, and we now have seen 2 of the White Cloaks. Now, I'm pretty interested to see who's going to be playing Pedro Nile, because, well, how can they go up from here? Because they have 2 very talented actors playing the Council of the Anointed. They can't really top that. I mean, they're going to. I mean, it's no doubt in my mind they will. But I'm pretty excited to see that. All right, so let's get on to our last little bit of Wheel of Time news. And that is the editor. So we have another editor that has been revealed for the Wheel of Time show, and that's Ulrika Munch. I don't know if I said that right or not. I'm sorry if I didn't. But he has some fairly big credits to his name. So Marcella, Doctor Who, and Gentleman Jack. At the very least, most of you should recognize Doctor Who. So that does give me, almost everyone working on this show is either really talented, has a really good resume, or has a lot of experience, or some combination of the 3. So, I mean, I don't know what else to say other than the fact that every little bit of news we get makes me more and more excited for the show. I know some people are very concerned things will be changed. Spoiler warning, they're going to be. So try not to be too disappointed when they are. Some people want Robert Jordan's vision to be pure, and I'm using that in quotation marks. It can't be not brought to the screen. Things have to be adapted. And not only that, they're going to be changing some things. They've already said that. But I am pretty excited about this, because the more and more people that we see that are working on the show, the more and more confidence that I have as a fan that we're going to see something really amazing. And I can't wait for it to come out. I can't express to you how much fun I'm going to have watching the first episode repeatedly and picking it apart bit by bit and trying to see what they've changed and what's not. It's going to be so exciting. But we still have quite some time before that happens. All right. So before I go, I do want to let you guys know that if you like what I'm doing here, please click the like button. And also, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do so. I just hit 3,000 subscribers, which is a really big thing for me. That's amazing. When I started this, I never thought I'd go beyond 1,000, and here I am at 3. So I'm going to give you guys another giveaway at 5,000 subscribers. I did one at 1,000 subscribers. I did one at 2,500. Let's do one at 5. It'll be a little bit different this time. It's something I'm working on right now. It won't be quite the same, so it won't be the t-shirt and water bottle that I've been giving away normally, but I think you guys are going to like it. So if you haven't already subbed, please do so. I do giveaways here and there every so often. If you're a subscriber and you comment on these videos, then you're automatically entered. All right, so again, if you want to see something specific from me in the future, please write in the comments down below. If you have any comments about this video at all, you don't like the way my beard looks or my bald head, or if I'm mispronouncing things, that seems to be a popular thing in the comments, please go ahead and put that down there. I do read each and every comment, and I reply to as many as I possibly can, although I can't reply to all of them, but I do my best. All right, thank you all very much for sticking with me here to the end, and here's to many more.